नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्यं नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासा ततो जयमुदीरये। नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवति उत्तम श्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्ठिके। कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकी नंदनाय च नन्दगोपकुमाराय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः। नमो नलिननेत्राय वेणुवाद्य विनोदिने राधाधर सुधापान शालिने वनमालिने महाभाव स्वरूपास्त्वं कृष्ण प्रिय वरीयसे प्रेम भक्ति प्रदे देवी राधिका त्वं नमोस्तुते। Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3, Chapter 25, text number 12. Maitreya Uvacha Iti Swamatur Nirvedya Ispitam Nishamya Pumusam Apavargavardhanam Dhyabhinandyatmavatam Satam Gati Babharvashya Ispitam Shobhitannaha. Maitreya Uvacha Iti Swamatur Niravadyamispitam Nishamya Pumsam Apavargavardhanam Dhyavinandyatmavatam Satam Gatir Bhavasya Ishtamit Shobhitananaha. Maitreya Uvacha Iti Swamatur Niravadyamispitam Nishamya Pumsam Apavargavardhanam Dhiya Vinandyatmavatam Satam Gatir Babhasha Isha Smita Shobhitananaha. Maitreya Uvacha. Maitreya said, Iti, thus, Swamatuhu, of his mother, Niravadyam, uncontaminated, Ispitam, desire, Nishamya, after hearing, Pumsam, of people, Apavarga, cessation of bodily existence, Vardhanam, in Dhiya, mentally, Abhinandya, having thanked, Atmavatam, interested in self-realization. Satam of the transcendentalist. Gatihi, the path. Babhashe, he explained. Ishat, slightly. Smita, smiling. Shobhita, beautiful. Ananaha, his face. Translation and purport by His Loving Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Translation. Maitreya said, after hearing of his mother's uncontaminated desire for a transcendental realization, the Lord thanked her within himself for her question, and thus he, his face smiling, he explained the path of transcendentalists who are interested in the self-realization. Purport. Devahuti has surrendered her confession of material entanglement and her desire to gain release. Her question to Lord Kapila are very interesting for persons who are actually trying to get liberation from material entanglement and attain the perfectional stage of a human life. Unless one is interested in understanding his spiritual life or his constitutional position, and unless he also feels inconvenience in material existence, his human form of life is spoiled. One who does not care for these transcendental necessities of life and simply engages like an animal in eating, sleeping, fearing, and mating has spoiled his life. Lord Kapila was very much satisfied by his mother's questions because the answers stimulate one's desire for liberation from the conditional life of material existence. Such questions are called apavargavarahanam. Those who have actual interest are called sat or devotees. Satam prasangat. Sat means that which is eternally exist, and asat means that which is not eternal. Unless one is situated on the spiritual platform, he is not sat, he is asat. The asat stands on a platform which will not exist, but anyone who stands on the spiritual platform will exist eternally. As spirit soul, everyone exists eternally, but the asat has accepted the material world as his shelter, and therefore he is full of anxiety. Asad Grahan, the incop, incop, incompatible situation of the spirit soul who has the false idea of enjoying matter is the cause of the soul's being asat. Actually, the spirit soul is not asat. As soon as one is conscious of this fact of the eternal, is very interesting to persons who are after liberation. And his lordship Kapil began to speak about that path. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Sri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadam Vandeham Shri Guruho Shri Yuta Kamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavancha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamsha Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamin Nidinamine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasari Gauravakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Maitreya Uvacha Iti Swamaturnividyam Vispitam Kshamya Pumsam Apavargavardhanam Dhiya Vinandyatmavatam Satam Gatir Babhasha Ishat Smita Shobhitanana. Maitreya said, after hearing of his mother's uncontaminated desire for transcendental realization, the Lord thanked her within himself for her questions, and thus, his face smiling, he explained the path of the transcendentalists who are interested in self-realization. The first line of this purport, Prabhupada says, Mother Devahuti has surrendered her confession of material entanglement and her desire to gain release. See, this is what one should do when he approaches his spiritual master. That he should confess what are the problems that he's facing in his spiritual endeavor. The first and foremost thing that she has expressed in front of her son is that uncontrolled and agitated senses. Unless and until we control our senses, it's not possible to concentrate our mind. And that's why in the Ashtanga Yoga, the first two steps they have given, Yama and Niyama. Yama means things that you have to give up or you have to follow. And Niyama is you have to give up for the particular things, so that we can regulate our senses. And as Lord says, Indriyana Manashasmi. Amongst the Indriyas or senses, the strongest is mind. And Lord says, it's me. So who will control this mind? Can we control with our own endeavor? Is that possible? No. As Sripad Rupa Goswami, he explains, this mind is like a wild horse. Unless and until it is tied at the peg, it will not rest. And what is that peg? He said, oh my Lord, it's your lotus feet. When that mind is engaged at the lotus feet of Lord, means keep chanting the holy name of the Lord. That will control the mind. And when that will happen, when our senses are not agitated. So she is asking their Lordship to bless her to control her senses because they are agitated. And with the agitated senses, it's very difficult to come out of ignorance. Because, as explained by Shripad Shankaracharya in his prayers to Lord Narasimha, he says, Mohandakare kuhare vinipatitasya. Moha andhakar. Because of contaminated senses, what is generated is a greed or moha. And that moha causes us to fall down in the dark ditch. In another place he says, Chore mahabalibhir indriya namadehye mohandakar kukre vinipatitas. The senses, which are like a thieves, they have taken away my intelligence. Chorer mahabalibhir indriya namadehye. These are the thieves, which are called as the uncontrolled senses. They have taken away my knowledge. And because of that, the ignorance had generated. And I have fallen down in that ignorant ditch. That's why here Mother Devahuti, she confessed that my senses are disturbed because they are agitated. And she says, it's you, my Lord. Lokasya tamasandasya chakshur surya yuvoditaha. It's you who is like a sun, who can dissipate the ignorance of darkness. So please be merciful. Why? Because Adyo Bhagavan Pumsam, you are the source of all the human beings. And Ishwaro Vai Bhavanakil. And you are the controller of everything that we survey. In this way, when she surrendered, and she clearly mentions, oh my Lord, the great cause of my entanglement in this world is Yavo agraho aham mameti iti asmin yojitas tattvaha. Aham mameti, me and mine, and my false identification with this body is the cause of my suffering in this world. So my Lord, help me to come out of this conception of materialistic life. And please dissipate this ignorance from my heart. And then she said, Tattvam gataham sharanam sharanyam swabhritya samsara taraho kutharam jidnyasaya prakrite purushasya namami sarvam vedam varish. And then she glorifies the Lord. Why I have come to you? Because tam tva gatah sharanam sharanyam. Because you are the shelter of everyone. Sharanam Sharanyam, no one else. And Lord himself says that. He claims in Bhagavad Gita, Sarva dharmana parityajya mamekam sharanam vraja. Mamekam sharanam vraja. Just surrender unto me. He never says that surrender to this, surrender to that. He says, Mam, just take shelter of mine. And same thing has repeated here by Mother Devahuti. She says, Tattvam gatoham sharanam sharanyam. Whoever wants to surrender, you are the person who can give them shelter. Why you can give? She gives the example for that. She says, Swabhritya samsara taroho kutaram. And whoever has taken shelter at your lotus feet, what do? You cut down the samsara vriksha for them, because you are that axe. Samsara vriksha agabija ananta karma shakha shatam karanapat mangal. Shankaracharya says. He says the samsara vriksha, Aghabija Ananta Karma, this tree of material existence, has generated from the Agha. Agha means Papa, sins that have committed in Ananta, many lifetimes. Aghabija Karma. Whatever the karma that I have done, the sinful activities that I have done in previous life, that is the seed of this samsara tree. Shakha Shatam Karana Anga Pushpa. It has thousands, hundreds and thousands of branches and leaves, and as well as Ananga Pushpam. Ananga Pushpam means the beautiful women or men created by Ananga, by Kamadeva, to allure my mind. Oh my Lord, Narasimha, please save me from this tree. And here same prayers are offered by Mother Devahuti. She says, oh my Lord, you are like an axe who can cut down this samsara tree. And that's why I have taken shelter at your lotus feet. Jidnyasayam prakrite purushasya namami sarva vidam varisham. And having desire to know about you, I have approached you. Having desire to know about the liberation, having desire to know about the path of perfection, I have come to you. Why? Because Sarva Vidam Varishtam, you are the person who knows everything, and you are the person who is greatest among the persons who knows everything. Sarva Vidam means who knows everything. Nothing is unknown to them, or omnicognizant that we can call. And you are a Varishtha. Varishtha means greatest among them. And that's why I'm taking shelter of you. See, this is what needed before you seek knowledge from spiritual master. You should realize your own position. That's why in the prarthana, when we offer prayers, our acharyas, first they have wrote Dainya O Prapatti. Dainya O Prapatti means, oh my Lord, I am such a fallen. I know this is what my position. Dainya Prapatti, that's a category of songs written by Narottam Das Thakur or Bhaktivinoda Thakur, where they express their own position, as the song that Gopinath, Mama Nivedana Shuno. Please accept my submission. Then the position of Jiva, how he's suffering in this world, that has explained. Bhaktivinoda Thakur representing himself as that fallen soul, as though he is not, but for the sake of us, he is showing that what one should express in front of his spiritual master or in front of their lordship. Our fallen condition. And that same way, all the devotees, all the great acharyas, they have approached in that way in front of their spiritual master, their acharyas, or in front of their lordship. And when the spiritual master or the Lord sees this genuine, heartfelt submission from our side. Then, with a smita hasya, as explained here, smita shobhita ananaha, with a beautiful smile, then Lord starts giving this knowledge. The same thing Lord has done on the battlefield of Kurukshetra. When he saw that Arjuna has put forward so many arguments, Lord gave a beautiful smile and he spoke to Arjuna. Ashochanand vashochasvam pragyavadan shabashase gatasuna gatan sushananu shochande pandita. You speak like a pandita, but you are thinking about the things which are not worthy to ponder upon. And when we go and express this in front of the Lordship of my Lord, I'm nothing. Please accept my submission. My heart is full of Vishaya. My heart is full of desire for sense gratification. And you are the master of senses. Umi Rishikesha Rishika Dami. It's you, O my Lord, who is the controller of the senses, and you can only do that. Please, this fallen soul praying at your lotus feet, please take care of me. And Lord is so merciful. Immediately He takes charge of your life. Unless and until you are surrendered to Him, He never interferes with your life. People generally, they say, oh, we pray to the Lord, but our prayers are not answered. You rascals, that's not me. Prabhupada says. You don't have that sincerity of heart when you pray in front of the Lord. Lord resides in your heart. Sarvasya chaham radhi sannivishto. And He knows, are you doing it from the heart or just lip service? If you do that lip service, He also does lip service. I'm there, no worries, I will take care of you. He never interferes. And when He wants to interfere, then what He does? Kaunteya pradijanimi name bhaktya pashyati. Arjuna, you tell that my devotees are not going to get perished. But who are His devotees? Who are His devotees? Tesham satata yuktanam bhajatam pritipurvaka. Those who are continuously engaged. How? Pritipurvakam, with love, not with a compulsion. Oh, somebody is there, so I have to go and sit and hear. No, that compulsion is not there. It's for Priti Purvakam, because I have a love for God. I would like to hear about Him, whoever speaks about that. That Priti. See, Hanumanji, he is a Chiranjeev, almost like an immortal. He goes everywhere wherever there is a Krishna Katha. These two personalities, like Naradji and Hanumanji, they are always there wherever Krishna Katha is going on. So person who speaks about Lord, he has no fear that nobody is there in the audience. At least you have two exalted personalities who are there as your audience. Because they have a preeti to hear about the Lord. Because hearing is the first thing that cleanses our heart. Vidunoti surat satam. What it does? It cleanses our heart and makes us suruta satam. Suruta means friend, intimate friend. Of whom? Satam. Who, as explained in this purport, Prabhupada says, Sata means that which is eternally exist. And Satam Prasangat means in the association of devotees. So hearing about the Lord makes your heart cleansed, and it makes intimate friend of those who are dear to their Lord. So choice is yours. You want to keep away yourself from hearing about the Lord and getting entangled in this material world, or you want to get rid of this. And Prabhupada says this life is not meant for asat things, material things, which are just taken care of this asat body, eating, meeting, defending. That's not the purpose of human form of a life. The spirit soul is not asat, it's sat, eternal. And as soon as one is conscious of this fact and takes to Krishna consciousness, he becomes sat. Satam gatihi, the path of eternal, is very interesting to person who are after liberation. And his Lordship Kapila began to speak about that path. That we'll discuss it from tomorrow. Today is very auspicious day. It happens to be a appearance day of Mother Sita. Who is this Mother Sita? Whose appearance day today? That is Srimati Sita Thakurani, the wife of Mahavishnu, and combined incarnation of Lord Shiva is Advaita Acharya. Srimati Sita Thakurani is to be worshipped as the mother of the universe, just as much as the mother of the Supreme Lord, Srimati Shachi Devi. She is the eternal wife of Lord Sri Sadashiva Mahavishnu, our Advaita Acharya. She was the daughter of Sri Narasingha Baduri. She was married to Advaita Acharya in Puliagra. After their wedding, Advaita Acharya went to Nadia, and then they moved to Shantipur. Sita Thakurani was always absorbed in a Vatsalya Prema for Sri Gaurasundar, and out of parental concern, used to instruct Jagannath Mishra and Mother Sachi about how to do parenting for kids, or for Lord Gauranga and Vishwarupa. Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami very wonderfully has explained about appearance of Lord Gauranga in Chaitanya Charitamrita. And there he has mentioned how Advaita Acharya's wife, worshipable by all the three worlds, was Sita Thakurani. Taking the Acharya's order on her head, she had come to take a look at the new child, this jewel of jewels, and offer him presents. On the evening of his son's advent, Sri Jagannath Mishra, seeing the imminent signs of his child's arrival, sent word to Advaita Acharya in Shantipur that long-awaited child was being born. Hearing news of the advent of this unprecedented child, Advaita Acharya floated in the waves of ecstasy. With Sri Haridas Thakur, he went to bathe in the river, and after much dancing and song, he sent his wife to go quickly to Mayapur in Navadvip. According to the Gaur Ganadesh Dipika, Sri Sita Thakurani is Yogamaya. The Gaura Parshada Charitavali says that in Krishna Leela, she was a Purnamasi, the mother of Sandimani Mani, grandmother of Madhumangal and Nandimukhi, and a disciple of Narada Muni. Gaur Ganadesh Dipika, however, says that Purnamasi in Krishna Leela became Sri Govinda Acharya in Chaitanya Leela. In Dwapar Yuga, during the celebration of Krishna's birth ceremony, she was present in the house of Nanda. And the time, and that time gave Nanda and Yashoda many instructions on how to care for the child. The Chaitanya Charitamrita gives the following account of Srimati Thakurani's visit to the house of Jagannath Mishra after the birth of Lord Chaitanya. One day, shortly after Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was born, Advaita Acharya's wife Sita Devi, who is worshipable by the whole world, taking permission of her husband, went to see the topmost child with all kinds of gifts and presents. She brought different kinds of golden ornaments, including bangles for the hand, armlets, necklaces, and anklets. There were also tiger nails set in gold, vast decoration of a silk and lace, ornaments for the hands and the legs, nicely printed silken saris, and a child's garment also made of silk. Many other riches, including gold and silver coins, were also presented for child. Riding in a palanquin covered with the clothes and accompanied by the maidservant, Sita Thakurani came to the house of Jagannath Mishra, bringing with her many auspicious articles such as a fresh grass paddy, gorochana, turmeric, kumkum, and sandalwood. See, these are called as Mangal Dravyas. Previously, maybe in your childhood, you people must have seen. In Nepal also they must be doing. Whenever they used to go and see the newborn child, they used to carry all these auspicious things. As we use it for the Adivas here, this 24 different Mangal Dravyas, same Mangal Dravyas she carried to create this auspiciousness and to show it to that boy. Because whenever the birth takes place, that thing is considered as inauspicious also. That is a ashaucha. So during that time, if someone is going to meet, so they carry the Mangal Dravya, so then they don't get contaminated with that ashaucha. So here Srimati Thakurani, as it's not necessary because here the most auspicious Lord has appeared, but these are the social obligations and social rules are made and should be followed by everyone. Devotees are not exemptions for that. They should be very rigid and they should follow this because this is what Lord has given. As a grihastha, one should follow all these rules and regulations. So when Sita Thakurani came to the house of Sachi Devi, bringing with her many kinds of eatables, dresses and other gifts, she was astonished to see the newly born child. For she appreciated that except for all difference in the color, the child was directly looked like Krishna of Gokul himself. Seeing the transcendental bodily effulgence of the child, each of his nicely constructed limbs, full of auspicious signs and resembling a form of a gold, Srimati Sita Thakurani was very much pleased, and because of her maternal affection, she felt as if her heart were melting. She blessed the newborn child by placing fresh grass and paddy on his head and saying, "May you be blessed with a long duration of life." But being afraid of a ghost and witches, she gave the child the name Nimai. On the day that the mother and son took bath and left the maternity room, Sita Thakurani gave them all kinds of ornaments and garments, and then also honored Jagannath Mishra. Then Sita Thakurani, being honored by Mother Sachidevi and Jagannath Mishra, was greatly happy within her mind, and thus she returned home. From that day on, Sita Thakurani would often come to Mayapur from Shantipur in Sachimata how to care for a new baby. She would give her many different instructions on how to raise children. And after helping with the child in this way, she would return to Shantipur. When it came time for child's birthday ceremony, Jagannath Mishra and Sachidevi led the worshipable Sita Thakurani be the first to offer the child his new clothes. Advaita Acharya Prabhu also had a house in Navadvip. There he would live from time to time and discuss Krishna Katha with the devotees headed by Srivas, giving and surfacing in the waves, diving and surfacing in the waves of joy until the break of dawn. After Sri Gaur Sundar's appearance, all the devotees prayed together with Sri Advaita Acharya and Sita Thakurani that the child might live long in Mayapur and have good fortune. Sita Thakurani and Sachi Devi were of one mind. The baby Nimai was their life and soul. Every day, Sita Thakurani would go to the house of Sachi Devi and help her with the care and nurturing of the boy. In the house of Jagannath Mishra, the divine child increased the pleasure of the eyes and minds of all the devotees, just as the waxing moon gradually grows more brilliant with each passing day. After several years, when Jagannath Mishra's son, Vishwarupa, Nimai's older brother, had grown up, he suddenly took sannyas. The grief and agony of Jagannath Mishra and Sachidevi upon their sons living was great. Gaur Sundar was also dismayed and unhappy at his brother's separation. At that time, Advaita Acharya and Sita Thakurani consoled Jagannath Mishra and Sita Thakurani and helped take care of Nimai. Srivas Pandit's wife, Malini Devi, also was always very affectionate towards the child, nurturing him and caring for him. She and Sachi Devi were on one mind in doing this. After exhibiting his childhood pastime, Nimai gradually progressed into the Kishora Leela, or pastimes of youth. After some time, he went to Gaya and revealed his true form and real purpose. Having returned from Gaya, he gathered all the devotees at the house of Srivas Angan for the purpose of beginning Kirtan. At that time, Advaita Acharya brought Sita Thakurani from Shantipur to Mayapur, and having arrived there, was the first to worship the lotus feet of Sri Chaitanya. Gradually, Sri Gaur Sundar began in Navadvip to unfold his Kirtan pastime. Wishing to deliver the fallen souls, as time went by, he took sannyas and turned his face towards Vrindavan and ran off, half mad, into the jungle in search of Sri Krishna. Upon hearing this, Sri Sita Thakurani spent 4 days with the Sachi Devi, who plunged in the darkness of a separation as if the sun had left the sky forever, lay off fallen on the ground like one near death. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, being bound by the ropes of love, was unable to go to Vrindavan, but was drawn to return to Shantipur. When he arrived in Shantipur, Advaita Acharya and Sita Thakurani felt as if their life has returned. After having fasted for 4 days, Sri Gaur Sundar accepted prasad cooked by the hands of Sita Thakurani. Previous to taking sannyas also, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, along with Nityananda Prabhu, would from time to time go to the house of Advaita Acharya in Shantipur, where they would have festival and perform Gaura Krishna Nama Leela Kirtan all day and night. The beautiful nature of this subject has been described by Sri Parameshwari Das Thakur in his Shripad Kalpataru as follows. One day the Lord laughed, having arrived in the temple of Sri Advaita, and thus the son of Sachi took his seat. Along with Nityananda, Advaita sat down, and the two of them began playfully assessing the idea of having a festival. Hearing all this, Sita Thakurani entered smilingly at that time in sweet words which made the mind of those who heard them blissful. The son of Sachi ruled that there must be a great festival. He said, Listen, Sita Thakurani, we shall extend invitation to all the different Vaishnavas who live nearby. Let whoever hears the sound of our song resounding throughout the air come and join us. We shall invite one and all. Saying this, Sri Gaurachandra gave orders to the devotee, saying, you invite the Vaishnavas, you ready the Mridanga and Kartals, you prepare sandalwood and agaru for distribution, have everything ready at the ghat. Carrying out these assignments expertly and after garlanding the devotees with the flower garlands, the devotees shall gather together in a circle for an uproarious kirtan. Hearing the words of Mahaprabhu, the devotees followed his order with a great affection, collecting garlands, sandalwood, betel, ghee, honey, and milk, and everything else essential for worshipping the Lord. The different gifts and fragrant articles for the devotees and the Lord were then distributed in the proper ways. The kirtan began at midday. At that time, everyone chanted, Hari Hari, and the Mridanga made the whole kirtan auspicious. Thus swims Parameshwara Das in the Rasika pastime of the Lord. After Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu took sannyas and went to live in Jagannath Puri, Sri Advaita Acharya and Sita Thakurani used to go and visit him each year, bringing their son Achyutananda with them. On one such occasion, Sita Thakurani prepared some of the Lord's favorite preparation for him and invited him to their home to take a lunch. Simply to increase their ecstasy, the Lord, who was always absorbed in Krishna Nam, honored their invitation and took lunch in the home of Advaita and Sita. Sita Thakurani, being always overwhelmed with the Vatsalya Prema, treated him as affectionately as if he were her own son. The Lord himself also treated her with the same kind of regard and affection that he had for Sri Sachidevi herself. Sri Sita Thakurani bore three sons, Achyutananda, Krishna Mishra, and Gopala Mishra, who were followers of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. According to Bhakti Ratnakar, Sri Sita Thakurani's father was Sri Narasimha Badri. Sita Thakurani also had a sister. According to Gaura Ganodesh Dipika, Sita Thakurani, the wife of Sri Advaita Acharya, is the Yogamaya and Katyayani combined, and her sister Shri is the Prakasha or manifestation of Yogamaya. Yogamaya Bhagavati Grahini Tasya Sampratam Sita Rupena Vrittirnam Shri Namni Tat Prakashataha. We would like to conclude with the beautiful pastime from Sri Chaitanya Bhagavat, Madhya Leela or Madhya Khanda, 19th chapter. Lord Chaitanya and Lord Nityananda proceeded happily by the side of Ganga towards the Advaita Acharya's house. As they walked, Lord Chaitanya repeatedly shouted, I am him, that person whom Nara had awakened and brought here. I think that she is holding discourses that confuse the process of devotional serving behind the facade of flowery words, presenting the path of speculative knowledge. Today I will punish him for this. Let everyone see how he can defend himself. As the Lord talked in this manner, Nityananda remained silent, smiling within his mind. Advaita Acharya knew that the Lord would react angrily to his seemingly errant behavior. Then, when he understood that the two lords had arrived in Shantipur, Advaita Acharya began to press the impersonalist conception of the absolute truth more forcefully. Lord Nityananda accompanied the irate Lord Chaitanya into Advaita Acharya's house. Advaita Acharya actually felt a kind of a pleasure in playing his role as an impersonalist. Haridas Thakur offered his obeisances unto the Lord by falling flat onto the floor. Advaita's son, Achyuta, also offered his obeisances. Advaita's wife, Sita Devi, offered her obeisances within her mind, but she felt very upset to see the Lord's stern countenance. Indeed, seeing the Lord's face aroused fear within everyone's heart. Roaring with anger, Lord Chaitanya asked, Hey Nara, tell me, which is the superior jnana, speculative knowledge or bhakti, devotional service? Advaita replied, speculative knowledge is superior. What is the use of devotional service for a person devoid of knowledge? As soon as he heard this, the Lord became mad with rage. Forgetting his surrounding, he dragged Advaita out into the courtyard, threw him to the ground, and began beating him again and again and again. Advaita's wife, Sita Devi, knew the confidential meaning of the pastime, but still she could not restrain herself from trying to stop the Lord. Stop, stop, she cried out. He is an old Brahmana. What is the use of chastising him so heavily? What if you kill him? How will you justify your actions? Lord Nityananda smiled to hear this, and Haridas fearfully chanted, Krishna, Krishna. Lord Chaitanya was so angry that he did not even hear Sita Devi's words. However, roaring like a thunder, he said, I was resting peacefully on the milk ocean, and you interrupted my sleep, calling me to attend to your work. It was you who engineered this propagation of devotional service. And so why are you now trying to obscure it with your discussion of impersonalism? If this was you and your real intention, why did you bring me to this world? You have deceived me in all respects. Finally, Lord Chaitanya stopped chastising Advaita Acharya and sat down next to the door. He then spoke loudly, revealing his true identity. It is I who killed Kamsa and all the other demons. I lifted Govardhan hill. I tricked Bali out of all his possession and then benedicted him because of his mood of surrender. I vanquished the terrible demon Hiranyakashipu to favor my devotee Prahlad. While listening to the Lord describe his various pastimes, Advaita Acharya became gradually merged into the ocean of ecstatic bliss. Actually, he was very happy to have received the Lord's punishment. And while clapping his hands, he danced with a joy. He said, My Lord, you have rightfully punished me. Now I feel renewed strength in my relationship with you as your servant. After dancing around in ecstasy, Advaita Acharya furrowed his brow and prayed, My Lord, where are your flattering words now? I am simply your eternal and humble servant. Your punishment being over, please grant me shelter at your lotus feet. Saying this, Advaita Acharya fell to the ground and placed the lotus feet of Lord Gauranga upon his head. Hastily and with a due respect, Lord Chaitanya picked him up as tears filled his eyes. Nityananda, Haridas, Sita Devi, Achyutananda, and even the household servants were all crying to see the poison scene. Indeed, everyone in Advaita Acharya's house became immersed in love of God. Lord Vishwambar now felt ashamed at having chastised Advaita Acharya so severely, and so he wanted to compensate by offering him a benediction. He said, If anyone so much as take a little shelter at your lotus feet, be he an insect, worm, animal, or bird, And even if he commits millions offenses against me, I will still grant him my blessings. Hearing this, Advaita fell at the Lord's lotus feet. Crying like a child, he said, "My Lord, whatever you have spoken is certainly true. Now, please grant me this favor. If anyone tries to become my devotee but does not serve your lotus feet, let that so-called devotion to me become the cause of his destruction. I cannot accept anyone who does not serve you. Even if he is my own son or my servant, I will consider him to be a great offender and will not even look at his face. On the other hand, those who worship you automatically become dear to me. If one neglects your worship and tries to approach the demigods, they never reciprocate. This is not my concoction. The story of Sudakshina's death from the Puranas is the proof." So this is how Lord Chaitanya had such an intimate relationship with Advaita Acharya and Srimati Sita Thakurani in the mood of Vatsalya. Srimati Sita Thakurani ki, Shriman Advaita Acharya Prabhu ki jai. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. बोलिए. हाँ, मैं समझा नहीं आप क्या पूछ रहे. हाँ, अरे मेरे प्रभु, हम अद्वैत आचार्य की पत्नी सीता ठाकुरानी के बारे में चर्चा कर रहे हैं. प्रभु रामचंद्र की पत्नी सीता माता के बारे में नहीं. ठीक है, चलो. श्री कृष्णचंद्र भगवान की जय.